Hey, podcasters. Thank you for tuning in to Speaking of. This is your host, Dedge and Jon Jon, discussing real issues you want to hear. Yo, what's up, everybody? This is your favorite podcast, your boy, Dedge, a.k.a. Dedge.
Come on, Dedge. Dedge on the edge. Still edging it on.
Oh, no. No. Bitch, I might be.
And this your boy, Jon Jon.
Jon Jon.
Yeah.
What's going on, Jon Jon?
Not
What
much.
have you been up to?
I started a new job.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So how is
I
it?
know, the corporate job.
Ooh.
But it's going good. It's going well. But
Okay.
I want to do this full time. So
Yeah.
but
yeah.
but you got to do what you got to do.
That's true. You
Get
got to
where you
make
wanna
ends
go.
meet.
Right. So
Got to put food on the table.
got to eat.
Clothes on your back.
Shoes on my feet.
Long as I got King Jesus. I didn't know where else to go with that.
Long, because I got them.
So what else is going on in you? Are you doing any writing? Any?
I am doing some writing. I'm kind of, playing around some different ideas. My next, my idea that I have next is probably to do like a web series. So I'm really starting to write more for that.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully by the end of the year we'll have something to put into production.
Oh, yeah,
in reference
'cause
to that. So
you're a
yeah,
writer.
I
So how does
love
that
doing
ABC thing go on with you?
I'm still waiting to hear back. They say you probably won't hear anything back until like the fall. So
Okay.
I'm still waiting.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
That's what's up.
Head bow.
Amen. Fasting and praying.
Well, not really fast.
Oh, ooh.
I like to eat.
Listen.
I like food. So
Listen, back in the day, whenever our church used to do these group fasts,
right?
and they'd be like, "Oh, you can't eat for 30 days, or you can't, eat a certain thing for 30 days."
Those are.
I'd be looking like, "How?
Those are the roughest times, especially when they say you can't eat.
You can't
specific
eat
things.
sweets."
Oh, right. It is
You mean I can't eat anything with sugar in it?
Period. Point blank.
So what if I put Splenda in it?
Well, it's like there's alternatives. You can do honey, but I think like Splenda is still a sugar. So, but
I think it's still sweet. Anything that it still gives you a sweet. So you're not really like, everybody wants to make an excuse and kind of get around what you're really supposed to be doing. If you really was like fasting for the Lord or fasting for an answer, then you have to, like, it's just cut and dry. Like there's no trying to make
you know what?
something.
I think with the
I think our flesh makes excuses to
it
to
does.
satisfy a part of us in a different way.
I mean,
Because
I
we
can
want to
agree
take
with
it
you.
literal.
We do, but I think what the misconception about fasting is people think they fast to get an answer, or they fast for God to do something to them or for them. When in all aspects, is really you're fasting so that you'll be able to actually hear from God, so that He can actually direct you in the way that you're supposed to go, so that you'll be able to hear Him clearly.
Yeah.
And a lot of people miss that point. They
You know
be like
what? This
fasting
is
and praying.
know what? So let's get, because we ain't talking about fasting today. This is a good topic. Like, we might have to cover this because there's a lot. There's a lot of questions.
There's a lot of
concerns,
questions.
and so I think that might be something that we might need to tackle.
You know what? Let me write that down.
Hey, write it
Put
down.
that into my book.
Your bujo?
I don't.
Oh, you don't have a
one of
bujo?
those. But yeah, I need to start.
Hey,
one.
so I want to get on. So with me, since you asked, I've been up to
Dedge, what have you been up to?
I mean, I've been up to. But I've actually developed a new hobby. So I don't really get into much. I don't really have. When I was a kid, I was really big into music, playing musical instruments. And I grew up, I was in band in school. My uncles taught me how to play the keyboard. I played the trumpet in band. I learned how to play the bass guitar from my uncle. So I have a very musical inclined family. Like my mothers and aunts were singers, my grandmother. So they had a little group or whatever, what'd you call it, a little quartet kind of type thing?
Quartet?
I don't know. Like a Ronica, Mighty Blazing Stars, or a Can Spirit. I don't know,
So with the Howard Lights.
It was not the Howards. I am a Marsh.
Oh, the Marsh Lights.
No, it was not the Marshall.
The Marshvillians.
You know what? I do not like you.
The Martians. I mean, I'm trying to give y'all a name, you know.
Anyway,
if it's a family thing, okay.
Yeah, it was a family thing. So
I love a musical family. They're just
so outside of that, I really don't have any hobbies. But my I've been kind of dealing with some stuff, and you know, I have come to accept that I might have depression and anxiety because you know certain situations in my life. So I've really started trying to tackle that, you know, within the last couple months, and I started to do something that gets my mind off the world because it's just like, you know, this is like one of those real talk things. It's like, you know, your mind races to so many different things because you got a lot of different things going on. So it's going a million miles an hour and it never slows down. So that's kind of what I had been dealing with. And with talking to my doctor and a counselor, it would just needed to come up with something to get my mind off the world, like, you know, world stop. So I got into bullet journaling. There were things that I would forget or I didn't, you know, remember, whatever. That's kind of forget, huh?
right.
Anyway.
Forget, didn't remember.
Moving on,
thing.
you know what, whatever. So I
tell us
got
more about
into
this
bullet journaling. So
what is
bullet
it?
journaling is basically, you know how you have like a presentation and it's bullets. You know, you have bullets to tackle each point. Well, in this journal, you can make this journal however you want to be. If you're creative, you can put, you know, you can draw different characters or different pictures or whatever. You can have different banners, different designs or whatever, you know, to kind of go through your month. So, you know, you break it up into months. You have, you know, kind of like your introduction to that month. So, you know, like some of them that I do, like I'll, you know, do a big old July or whatever, do it different colors and kind of, you know, design it up.
Okay.
So with that, you know, I'm coloring or whatever. And that was kind of like, it was kind of a sentimental thing to me because my sister that passed a couple years ago, she was a big colorer. That kind of got her mind off of the world. She liked coloring books, and that was, you know, her from a child. So that kind of helps me remember her in a good light. So yeah, I kind of get the chance to be creative with, you know, kind of designing it the way I want to do. But what it helps you do is it's a planner. You can take your day how you want to do it and divide it up and jot down notes, jot down grocery lists, jot down things that you want to do, accomplishments that you made, either whether you want to do it in a day or a month. It's really cool. So you should go out there and Google bullet journaling.
So is this something that you do every day?
I do it every day. Yeah. So like at work, you know, when I kind of want to like just kind of space out or whatever, I ain't got really too much to do or what have you, I'll, you know, pull out my bullet journal, but definitely I have it out already because there's things that I need to remember. There's meetings, you know, I schedule them in there, you know, you break it up by the day.
So is this something electronic or is this something like you do?
I've tried it both ways.
Okay.
I've tried it electronically, but electronically it's hard to find an application that will allow you to be as creative as you want to be. So I went back to the physical pen and paper, and I was reading this book that actually said that, you know, with pen and paper, actually writing down something in a pen and paper, where you learned education originally, you know, like in grade school, middle school, whatever, you use a pen and paper. So it helped you, it makes things more real for you.
That's how I am. I still like to write stuff down. Like I love electronics.
I love electronics. Love technology.
I love everything about it. Yeah. But it's like when I'm writing something down, like even when I'm writing a script, I would write it out first and then I'll transcribe it into like using my computer or using my iPad or something like that. But go ahead with your
No. I mean, that was pretty much it. And, you know, I kind of like, I took it to like this mentor that I had, and I was like, you know, well, I've come up with a way to really pinpoint what I needed to pinpoint in my life. And, you know, with my career, with, you know, personal, with different aspects of my life. And, you know, I was kind of going through the thing because I was really excited about it. And, you know, he was just like, you know, where's your business, you know, pretty much like, where's your business mind? Like, you need to get back into, you need to focus on your career. You need to get this, you need to get that. So like, you know, just being so like, you know, like career or professional oriented, and you can't really break that up. And I was kind of like, at first I was like, you know, I was thinking that I was wrong. I was like, well, maybe I'm wrong, you know, because this is my mentor. He knows a lot. He's older than me, and you know, so on and so on. And I was like, well, maybe he makes sense for a day or two. And I was like, well, you know what? I started reflecting on myself. And I was like, that doesn't really work for me.
Right, because this is something that you found that is actually helping you deal with whatever it is that you're dealing with.
Right.
And this is a way of expressing your emotions and helping you to focus on other things besides what's going on in your life.
Right.
So, yeah. So I think that kind of leads into what we want to talk about today. Like, what's in your ear? Who's in your ear?
Who's in your ear?
So, like, who do you allow to give you advice? Like,
that's a good ass question,
right? That's because everybody can't give you advice.
Because everybody ain't been where you trying to go,
right? And a lot of times we listen to people, and we will try to take on what they're saying and try to take their advice, and we'll miss our calling. We'll miss our opportunity because we were listening to the wrong person
and our
or the wrong
might
person.
Be altered.
Hello, that's it. When you start talking about destiny and how your destiny can be altered because you allow other people to give you misinformation, bad information.
But why do we allow that? Why is it such a big thing in our life? I mean, it's so prominent nowadays. Like, you have you have friends, you have family members, you have acquaintances, mentors, whoever that you may see as a big influence to help making life decisions or what have you. And it's like, well, I'm going to take their word because they may know more about this situation than I do.
Well, it depends on, again, it goes back, it depends on the person because like you said, that person may have not been through what you've been through or may have not been through that situation or may not even know anything about it. So you have to be careful who you allow to speak to certain situations.
You have to be careful who you allow to speak to certain situations.
Because
that's a good point.
It's a great point. Not to pat my own self on the back, but or to toot my own horn, but toot toot. But
I'm finna mute you.
But anyway, if we allow certain people to speak in our lives that weren't necessarily supposed to, we'll be lost.
That's true. And there's a lot of lost people out there.
There's a lot of lost people in there.
I've been lost before. I still don't think I'm found. But
I'm lost and found all in the same time.
It's like you let people influence you in different ways, and it's like you have a different, in your mind you have a different outlook in life,
right?
And opposed to
you have to be. I can't say this enough. You have to be careful who you allow to influence you.
Right. You have to be cognizant of that.
Right. You have to truly be cognizant and be present in every moment in your life where you can actually think through every process and every piece of advice that's coming to you, and you have to know whether or not that person is coming from a sincere place. Because sometimes you'll get, they'll give you advice based upon how
their own personal
experience and how they are feeling and how they're feeling about the situation. If you look at relationships,
emotions,
right, and they allow their emotions to affect how they give you advice, and it could definitely be wrong. Even though it's good advice,
right,
it may not be for you,
right.
And you have to be careful how you take that.
And I kind of look at it because I'm pretty sure a lot of people have watched Love and Hip Hop, and we reference that a lot, and
right,
because I do like Ratchet TV sometimes.
Ratchet TV is
I'm
my
all
life.
about throwing these hands.
Ratchet TV is my life.
But the whole Rashida and Kirk story, and I look at it, well, if you didn't know, Kirk had stepped outside of the marriage, and had maybe potentially has a baby with this girl that's affiliated with...
I like the way you did those air quotes like people can see it.
Oh, that's true.
But go ahead.
Well, wait till we get the visual. They'll be able to see it because I'm very talkative with my hands.
Right.
But so she's with the girl that Kirk slept with was a stripper, and she's dealing with this guy that is a known scam artist. He's like the original Joanne the Scammer. Original. But this has affected. Rashida has been married with this guy with 16 years or something like that.
Right. I think she was probably in her teens.
Yeah, she was in her teens. She was very young.
50.
And
because he's 90 now.
He looks
go ahead.
a good 50.
Go
leave
ahead.
Peter Thomas out of it. I mean,
shit. Oh.
Hey, but looking at that whole story, that whole storyline, and I was looking at an episode where Rashida and Kirk were trying to really talk out their differences, but her mother was there, and her mom was like, "Well, this is the most important thing that it is in the situation right now is finding out who is the father of that baby. And so Kirk was like, well, no, it's not the most important thing